Thank you. So, father knows best. Really? I'm not so sure. I've been a father, and I know I didn't know best. And as a teenager, I was pretty sure my father didn't know best either. But that doesn't have a whole lot to do with the story I'm going to tell, but it seemed important to say that. My father died of Alzheimer's in 2011, November, 6.5 years ago. And in our family, I'll give a little background for that. Our family was not an affectionate family. We didn't hug each other. We didn't pat each other. There were no pats on the back, no attaboys. We never heard the words, "I love you," or spoke them. But in spite of that, we had a strong cohesion in my family, based largely on loyalty and respect. We were very close in an underlying sense. My brothers and I, there were 7 of us, 7 children, 2 girls, 5 boys. I was the second oldest. My older brother, then me, and younger brother, born within a 4-year span, were pretty close in age, and we stuck together like nobody's business. When my parents wanted to know who did something or what happened and would question us, we would not rat each other out. No way, no how. Even if we were totally pissed off at each other, we wouldn't do it. And that was not the thing my parents liked, but in a way I think they respected us for it. So, as my father's Alzheimer's progressed, he began to change in his personality. One of the things about him and about me and our interaction together was that we didn't get along very well. He would walk around with a scowl on his face, kind of judgmentally, and I resented that. And it probably wasn't there as much as I thought it was, but it seemed like it was there a lot. And so, interestingly, with Alzheimer's, and I think this is a pretty common thing, that started to dissipate. It disappeared in time. And there was just this easygoing, likable guy that was left. And I don't know when it started. I'm not sure what led up to it. But at some point, in chatting with him, I put my hand on his shoulder. He was sitting down. And he did something that surprised me immensely, and that was he reached up his hand and put his hand on mine and kind of squeezed my hand. And it was so sincere. I mean, I could feel it. There was no doubt that this was a person who was always under there but couldn't quite get out. So our relationship changed. When I would come to visit him, he was obviously happy to see me. He would brighten up and smile, and he knew my name almost to the end. So through time, I started touching him more. I would touch his arm, put my hand on his, and he took my hand, which was very disconcerting at first, but gradually became comfortable. And he did it like we had always done that. Like this wasn't something new, that this wasn't something that just recently developed, but we had always been this way. So, of all the memories that I have of my father at this time, the ones that I remember the most, that are strongest for me and overwhelmingly prominent in my heart and in the way that I see my father, were these last months where my hardness of heart towards him, I want to say melted, but that's not quite right, like melting a metaphor with water, but it was more like it evaporated because there was nothing left of it. There was no, like, puddle of water. It was just gone. And what was left between us was warmth, tenderness, and love, which was an amazing experience. And so I feel tremendous gratitude and humbled that in the last days of his life, the last months of his life, the end of his life, we bonded in a way that we had never been able to do. And this came to us at the end of his life as a gift. Unexpected and unearned, but there it was, a gift of grace. Thank you very much.